I'm Cass.
I'm Rachel, and you're listening to the Appliance Girls. But I think I'm really excited to, get women on the podcast.
I mean, we love men too.
If you had a superpower, any
Oh,
superpower,
Not this one.
any superpower, what would it be?
If you don't believe in what you're selling or you don't believe in the business, you're not going to be able to sell it.
I thought you were talking about something else.
Hello, Rachel.
Hello, Cassandra. How are you?
Good. We are back for another episode. It's been a while.
It has been a while. We did our last episode when we were away for work in the Philippines.
Yes.
But we're excited to be back in our studio with an exciting guest today.
Yeah. Today we have Mona here. Welcome, Mona.
Thank you for having me.
Mona is like I don't even know how you would describe like what she does.
Yeah.
It's like she is just a bomb of a woman, honestly. Yeah. She is a founder and company owner of Juris Techni, a PhD candidate at UTS, a founder of a charity, One Marinite, and of course a mum.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mum of four. So not just a mum of
four.
four. So just that list is enormous. I think when I was reading your bio, I was like, this is crazy. You are an absolute powerhouse of a woman, and we're very excited to have you on today.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh my God. Like, I feel so seen.
Yeah. I mean, it was funny because we met Mona at the Chamber of Commerce Bankstown event for International Women's Day, and she was on the panel, and me and Rachel were like, oh my God, we got to get her on the podcast. Yeah. She is like incredible, this little pocket rocket that has so much to share. And that's when we got you on. So welcome. We're so excited to hear about everything today, and excited.
I'm actually really honoured to be here because I have started listening to your podcast and I love it. Like, I really identify with you both.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited to share my journey, like the challenges, the wins, motherhood, working, uni, the charity, all the things that we do.
Yeah. And I feel like because you are definitely in a male-dominated industry as well as us, and I feel like a lot of the stories you were telling on the panel we could resonate with, and it was so inspiring to hear. It's not just some people going through that; it's a lot. So,
it really is.
We'll unpack a lot today, and we'll go through everything.
I know, and once again, it's a different industry.
Totally
something
different.
that that not necessarily that I'm very interested in personally.
Yeah.
So I'm actually excited to hear your journey and how you got into that and what that looked like and your journey now, where that's going, because I think it's very exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess where do we begin? From the beginning? I mean, your growing up, childhood, kind of your aspirations, did you always know you wanted to do law and look into this kind of stuff, or where did you start?
At all. So when I finished high school, I think I lasted about a semester of uni.
Yeah.
And absolutely hated it.
Yeah.
Like, at that point in my life, it just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
So I said to my dad, look, I don't want to do uni anymore. I'm not sure what I want to do. And he's like, well, okay, you're actually building a business. I'm like, I'm what now? He's like, yep, you're going to start up a finance brokerage. Because at that point, like, my family had owned car dealerships. And I was like, okay, I could do this. This sounds like fun. And started my own business. And after about, 4 or 5 years of being a finance broker, I developed a website where applicants can log in online, fill out an application, upload their documents, and then as I progressed their application through the process, they would get email notifications letting them know where it was at.
Yeah.
Now, back then, there was none of that.
Yeah.
You had to write it all down.
Yeah.
And then you had to fax it over to the lender. And then you had to send the originals, like the ink, the wet copy to like the lender via snail mail.
Yeah.
So everything was quite manual and process and resource intensive. And then as soon as I built that website and saw how I was able to really make the workload efficient, I fell in love with software.
Oh,
wow,
so
okay.
funny.
Like, I love technology so much. So I did a programming course at TAFE, like obviously finance at TAFE as well, and advertising and marketing, and moved into like business analysis and then into software development. And it was epic. I had an opportunity to go in and see so many different businesses and assess their workflows and see how technology can enable us to make better decisions and work more efficiently.
Yeah.
Then I had an opportunity to, I think everything has just been like thrown at me and I've just been like, okay, why not?
Why not?
So then I got into fintech, and then from fintech, I was still like running the digital agency. I had like 13 developers working for me at any point in time from our office, and that was back in Yaguna.
Yeah.
And then fell into another opportunity for fintech, but also into litigation funding.
Yeah, okay.
My world, it just was like, litigation funding? What's litigation funding? And nobody knows what it is. Or like if you're not a lawyer, you don't know what litigation funding is. And it's a specific type of like investment product where we invest in legal claims. So we work with a number of law firms and assess legal claims and invest in those as the asset.
Yeah.
And as we were progressing in that business, I was like, there's got to be a better way that we can assess claims. Like how we're doing it's okay, but it takes a lot of time. It costs a lot of money. And then I get my tech brain back on and I'm like, okay, how can we solve this? I looked all over the world, like literally all over the world to find a solution that was fit for purpose, that was ethical and explainable for me to be able to use in litigation assessment. And there's nothing. So then I thought, well, why don't I do it?
Yeah, why not?
Why not me? And if not me, then who? And if not now, then when?
Exactly.
So I sold my fund and started my MBA at UTS. And as I was doing my MBA, I built the business at the same time. So it was like having the most credible and knowledgeable experts empowering me with the knowledge base to build out my strategies and implement them and have them assessed by like my lecturers. And it's
like, sorry to butt in, but that's such a smart way to do it while you're studying, because you're not waiting till the end of your, your what's it
degree.
called? Your degree to start this business. You just do it at the same time.
That's right. You make your education work for you.
Yeah.
Like it's not just there to...
And that's what education's meant to be.
Yes.
That's what it's meant to be, yeah.
And the way that they do it, and like obviously I don't get paid to promote UTS or anything.
Yeah.
But like this is just based off my own experience. The way that they do it, they let you choose the business that you're going to base your assessments on. Obviously, I'm going to choose my business.
Yeah.
So it's knowledge-based and practical and having someone assess your business. And it's like, where else could you build a business like that?
Yeah.
And then that led into the EPHD. And then I'm also doing my Juris Doctor at UNSW because, why not? And that's pretty much like how it evolved from leaving high school, not really enjoying uni, going to TAFE, starting businesses. I kind of done it out of order.
Yeah.
Like not uni and then go work somewhere and then build a business and then all work up a corporate ladder.
Yeah, but I love showcasing that to people that you don't have to follow that.
That's right.
That standard, go to uni, get a job, work to 9 to 5, and that's it. That's your life. It's like I love showcasing people that do think out of the box and do it differently, because then we show, young kids these days, but you don't always have to follow that timeline. That's not your life set out.
There is no cookie cutter approach to building a successful business or having a successful career.
Yeah.
Like there is no one size fit all. There is no, well, this is the rule book and this is exactly how you do it. Because if that existed, then everybody would be a billionaire.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think so many times we've spoken on the podcast about not people falling into what they're doing, but it doesn't happen that traditional way.
Yes.
And it's because someone said, so like you said, your dad said, well, okay, starting this avenue. And then that sort of led you to the next step and the next step. Like it's not that you went, okay, I'm finishing year 12 and I'm going to do this, and then that's where your path started. So it's always sort of like along the journey, someone's thrown you into something that's pushed you where you are today. Now, when you're at school, were you into the software stuff back then? Like is that, or did it start later? I'm intrigued to know what your childhood was like.
Oh, wow. Okay. I had a very traditional
childhood.
Yeah. my favorite subject in high school was physics.
Okay.
But I sucked at it. But it was my favorite subject.
Yeah.
I'm a big Star Trekkie.
Okay, yeah.
I really love Star Trek Voyager.
I love that.
Captain Catherine Janeway is literally like the person I want to be when I grow up.
Yeah, love it.
But it was really like mostly around like family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being like I babysat a lot.
Yeah.
So I think we were bred to be mothers from young.
Yeah.
I didn't do much. I don't think I had the opportunity growing up to go out and explore.
Yeah, okay.
And it wasn't until, I married the most amazing man that he was just like, I'm like, I want to go and do this. And he's like, okay. I'm like, okay. I want to go to uni. He's like, you do you, boo.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I want to go and do all these things. And he's just been so supportive.
Yeah.
And also like my mum and my dad and my brothers and my neighbors and my girlfriends and the other school parents. Like, it takes a village.
Yeah.
For sure.
But you don't know what you want to do from when you're young.
Yeah.
Like, you want to be 1,000,001 things. Like, I never ever thought I would ever have the opportunity to even consider a PhD.
Yeah.
Or to be inventing a new way to practice law.
Yeah.
Like, I never imagined that could be a possibility for me. And really studying and going to university and realizing at my older, nice, ripe, young age, how education really empowers you and opens up doors and opportunities when you're at the right education institution.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And I think as well, so many of my friends that dropped out of uni, it's like almost like they drop out and they think they failed because they didn't finish their degree. And it's like, well, no, that's not the end of the road for you. Like you said, like you've gone back and studied later in life and it's just wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah,
for
that's
you,
right.
And these things sometimes don't work and it's okay, but that's not the end of the road and you just find something else.
And it's constantly evolving.
Yeah.
So like when I first went to uni, the undergrad just felt so disconnected.
Yeah.
But postgrad was so practical. And I'm a practical learner. Like, I need to be able to learn the information and implement it in a real life like scenario that's relevant for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is like the best way for me to learn. And I think that's the biggest difference between my experience as an undergrad student to my experience as a postgrad student is just like how you could apply the knowledge that they're teaching you and have the flexibility to choose like which industry you want to be able to apply that knowledge base to. It's massive difference.
And I think also maturity, like you're more mature to have an understanding of what the benefits of what you're learning are. Back then it's just like, when you first come out of school, you don't necessarily have that maturity to go, I'm going to use this for something later on.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's,
But I don't feel like we had that guidance either.
No.
Like, was anyone ever saying to us, why don't you make your uni work for you? Not you just have to go to uni and get good marks and learn this stuff. Like, there was never. So what I do with UTS startups is I go and speak at different high schools because you can't be what you can't see.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you guys, but I never had any female entrepreneurs in STEM coming and presenting to me and showing me that, there are other opportunities for me.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
I feel like in school you kind of learn about the stereotypical jobs out there. Like you can become a lawyer, a doctor, a teacher, and it's like, well, what else is there? There's more that I could become. Like, but you just kind of learn about those stock standard roles. And there's nothing that you look between the lines and, like you said, bring, people in to share different career paths out there that you can do.
But they're going to learn more from you going into the school and talking to them than they are. Like, I used to be a teacher, high school teacher, and so I fully understand it, but I would rather have guest speakers every lesson for my classes because they would learn so much more from that.
Yeah.
Like the practical, knowing that experience, knowing the journey you've gone through, they would learn so much more from that. And I think we need to do more of that in schools.
Oh, 100%.
So it's good that you're doing that.
Like I always put my hand up.
Yeah.
I think I've visited maybe 5 or 6 schools.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I visited one school like a few times. And it's super rewarding for me because like when I put my mum hat on,
Yeah.
I also want to be that example for my children.
Yeah.
Hey, it doesn't matter whether you're a boy or a girl.
Yeah.
Like mummies go out and work too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
mummies go out and go to uni and, you know, mummies have meetings. and,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's so normal for my kids. And I love that that's their normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like when you were growing up, like if you were to fill out a sheet that's like, oh, you know, who in your family reads the newspaper? Like the
Yeah.
first person that comes to mind is dad.
Dad.
Yeah.
Yep. For sure.
My daughter was filling out the same thing and it's like, who's reading the newspaper? And she wrote mum.
I love
And I
that.
know for some people it's just like, oh, whatever, big deal. But it was such a big deal for
Yeah.
me because I would have never written that when
Yep.
I was her age.
Yeah.
So it's like we're creating an impact on our children,
Yeah.
like on our boys and our girls.
For
Yeah.
sure.
You're setting that example, and we've
Yeah.
spoken about this so many times before, but being that role model, but that, you know, women can do it all too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're a mum of 4, but yet you're killing it in what you're doing. So
Yeah.
everyone can do it.
Exactly.
It's but everyone can do it if you choose to.
Yeah.
Like if
yeah.
you don't want to,
Yeah.
that's okay as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Like I found being a full-time mum the hardest job in the universe.
Yeah.
There's no break time. There's
Yeah.
no hot coffee time. Like someone is literally relying on you to survive.
Yeah.
So when they were little, like I did struggle a lot being at home with them. And I
Yeah.
said to my husband, like, I need to get back to work.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like staying at home is a billion times harder. And if there's anyone that can argue that it isn't, like I challenge you,
Yeah.
then having that break and going to work and,
Yeah.
you know, not having anyone ask you to wipe their bums.
Yeah. Exactly.
It'd be weird if they did, but
We've spoken, yeah, that would be weird. We've spoken so many times before though about, like for us, we've spoken for ourselves. For me, going back to work was for my mental health. Like I needed it for my
Yes.
mind.
Yeah.
And, you know, some people would see that as, you know, you don't want to be there for your kids, but it's not that
Yes.
at all.
Nah.
Yeah.
We're here working because it's for my mental health, for me to be a better mum for them when I'm at
Yeah.
home. And that's how I always say it to people. It's for me to be better for them and for
Yeah.
them to see me as a role model for them. So
100%.
like I
And
can see.
You know, there's so many trolls out there that, like Rach said, would be like, "Oh, you obviously don't care about your children if you're leaving and abandoning them to go back to work." It's like, well, no, that actually means I love my children
Exactly.
a lot,
Yeah.
because I want to be able to be a role model and be there for them. And like Rach said, your mental health when you're with your family is so important because they feed off your energy. And if
So
you're,
true.
you know, feeling depressed or if you're, you know, have no energy at all, or, you know, you just need that routine, they're going to feed off that, and that's how they're going to be in their
rub off
life.
on the whole family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when you're functioning, the family is functioning.
Exactly.
And you do, like we're human beings.
Yeah.
We're not robots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we need a break. We need to go and we're allowed to have other identities
Yeah.
that are other than mum.
Motherhood.
And there's,
Yeah.
again, there is nothing wrong with wanting to be a mum and not wanting to work.
Yeah.
100%.
But there's also nothing wrong with wanting to be a mum and
Yeah.
a student and an entrepreneur and an innovator or like just whatever it is. Like
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just accepting that, you know, people want to do different things. There's not, like we said, there's no playbook that says you
Yeah.
have to, you know, go to school, go to uni, get a job, get pregnant, stay at home and be a mum. It's like
Yeah.
you do what works for you, and
Yeah.
that's just how life is. It's even with anything with being a mum. It's like, oh, you can't do that because that's going to affect the baby this way, and you can't do that. You can't put them in this, and you can't put them in that. It's like, look, if my baby's crying, I'm going to give him a dummy. It's just what works for me. It might not work for you, but it's
love
going to
the
work for
dummy.
me. Like, and it's just not judging and not having that judgment around what
Yeah.
others are doing. It's like, just accept it, do what you do, and that's it. And
But
we
we're-
just need to learn to accept.
Yeah, and we judge ourselves a lot too. 'Cause I
100%,
can
yeah,
understand,
that's
like, because you'd be very busy. How is that, you know, with your journey with motherhood? How is balancing that been?
Yeah.
And have you had times when you've been hard on yourself? And yeah,
It takes a village.
yeah,
Yeah.
Nobody does anything on their own.
yeah,
Like, and for people who do, God bless you
Yeah.
because it is tough. Like my husband is such a hands-on husband. Like he will take the kids to school. He'll take them to their co-curriculars. My mum picks them up every day from school. Things suffer. Like we say we can do it all, and we do. We are doing it all, but things suffer.
Yeah.
Like my house is constantly messy. The only day it's clean is a Monday afternoon after it gets cleaned, and that's it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday morning, it's a bomb again. I constantly have maybe 6 or 7 washing loads waiting for us to fold.
Don't worry, we feel you. We're there too.
There's always a pile. I think this morning my son had to go to the basket to find socks. Things suffer in the meantime. You can't be 100% doing everything.
Yeah.
And like that's our feminine energy. Like we are 80% one day and 20% one day or 150% another day.
Yeah.
And it's learning that this is my feminine energy and how I like to work and what works for me.
Yeah.
And that's like how I'm able to do it. But I couldn't be able to do there's no way in hell I'd be able to do it on my own. Like I've got Rachel here with me today, who is literally my guardian angel at work. And I would probably fall apart if I didn't have that support.
Yeah.
My engineers, the engineers that work with me, my innovation, my invention wouldn't have come to life without their support.
Yeah.
Like I'm just a bunch of ideas without the people around me enabling me to be able to like really pursue my dreams.
Yeah, for sure.
So we don't do anything by ourselves. Things suffer in the meantime. That's okay.
Yep.
Yesterday, if you saw my hair, you would have been like, So I washed it last night.
But people need to hear that because, too much with social media, everything's like, picture perfect, glossy, people doing it all. But behind the scenes, that's not what's happening. And you want to see the real.
Definitely a mess behind the scenes.
Yeah. I've got that 100 piles of washing sitting there. I saw it this morning and I just walked past it and let it go. So just learn.
But I think it's like just know that it's not the end of the world if your house is a bit messy. Like it's okay to just sit there and relax for a bit. If you just come home from work, you don't need to clean the house. Just relax and it'll get done when it gets done. There's no stress.
The amount of times we've had like surprise visitors.
Yeah.
Like younger version me would have been like, oh no, there's dishes in the sink or the kids have left toys or I don't know what that banana is doing on the ceiling. Like now it's just like, just come in. Like I'm just happy you're here. And nobody actually really notices it because what? We're all in the same boat.
100%. And that's the thing. They'd come in there and go, oh yeah, my house is exactly the same.
And it's true.
Yeah.
Now, going back to the start of Juristechny, I mean, because it was something so new and innovative, what do you think were the biggest challenges and breakthroughs that you guys had from the very beginning?
Okay. When I first started my research, I had every VC, because you've got to raise money to build the type of technology that I'm building.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, I'll go raise some money. And every VC said no. They said, what you're doing is impossible. A few were like, who do you think you are doing what you're doing? God forbid, a mother should be in the tech industry innovating. And there are so many tech bros and finance bros.
Mm-hmm.
It was painful.
Yeah.
But I reframed that because it helped me develop how I communicate. So you're going to hear a lot of no's. You're going to hear a lot of that's impossible. And I'm just like, yeah, okay, watch me.
Yeah.
Because I know the research is sound. Like it didn't just come to me in a dream. Like I've been validating this through academic level research. You do hear a lot of no's. Being disciplined is the best way for you to become resilient. It's not your motivation or your passion. because that goes up and down like this.
Yeah.
Like one day I'm really motivated. The next day I'm just like, oh my God, like what am I doing? Did I make the right choice? Like, can we build it? I know the research says we can build it, but so many people are telling me we can't build it. And then finding the right people.
Yeah.
Like you've got to go through a lot of no's to be able to find the right people to associate yourself with.
Yeah.
And that took me a while to get to. Don't hold on to it. There's this story that I heard, and this is a story I like to share with people. There was a donkey, and the donkey fell down the well, and the farmer was like, there is no way I'm going to be able to get this donkey out of the well. I'm just going to bury the donkey alive and put it out of its misery because I can't get it out. Farmer calls his mates. He's like, hey, guys, I need you guys to help me bury this donkey. Donkey's like panicking, what's going on, and then starts to feel dirt being thrown. And the donkey's like, oh, my God, at that realization, they're throwing dirt on me. They're trying to like bury me. And the donkey starts shaking. And as the donkey is shaking, the dirt falls off the back and under its hooves. So as they're throwing the dirt, the donkey's shaking and using those challenges and those no's and those tech bros and finance bros and those comments to elevate slowly up and up and up till eventually the donkey got out of the well.
I love that.
So like the moral of the story is use those no's, use those challenges to your advantage. If someone says to me, like I've had in one meeting, say to one of my colleagues, oh, you're so lucky, like you've got someone like Mona who works for you, like make sure you give her a pay rise. And then my colleague would say, she actually owns the business. That's her business. And then they'd be like, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I own the business, but who cares about that?
Yeah.
Like you could take it in one of two ways. One as a compliment, like you're re-educating people to say, hey, no, we can do more than one thing.
Yeah.
Or you could hold on to that and be like, oh, this person was at this and at that for judging. It's like, no, use it as an opportunity to teach someone something new that they wouldn't have been able to know before because you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And if you take it from a point of curiosity, then you're really empowering other people to knowledge that they wouldn't have had access to beforehand.
100%. And that's the thing as well. People are so quick to judge and to make assumptions, and it's hard for them because, like you said, they don't know. But it's kind of rewarding in a way that you show, I am the owner. I am the boss woman here, so take that.
Well, the best one is like, so who does your research? Who came up with this? And I was like,
I did.
It was me.
Oh, there's so much to take from that because it's like it is that. What did you say? The discipline and what did you say?
So the discipline is what keeps you resilient.
Yep.
Because your passion, your motivations go up and down.
I love that.
If you rely on that passion and motivation, it's going to be very hard to see it through to the end or see it through to the next milestone or the next goal. Discipline is what keeps you like using a scheduler, for example.
Yeah.
Knowing I'm allocating this to this time.
Yeah.
I've got a task manager. It keeps me accountable. It keeps me knowing what I'm supposed to be working on and not jumping from one thing to the other, to the other, to the other.
Yeah.
Like
See, I love you explaining it that way because so many people always say, how do you stay motivated?
Yeah.
Like people ask that question to certain people. But explaining it that way because the motivation does go up and down.
Yeah.
I really like that.
That's
good.
And I think the whole rejection and that no, we're so quick to just go, okay, well, it was a no and that's it, let's pack up our bags and see you later. But having that resilience and being able to just keep going is so important because you get rejected in life many places.
Of course, everywhere.
It's everywhere. So just trying to teach, and I know we've spoken about teaching kids resilience and, teaching them that they're not always going to win. They're not always going to be the winner of the race.
That's right.
They've got to learn that you have to work hard and someday it will be a yes, maybe.
But it's also having that belief in yourself. Like I know when we in contact with trying to do some things and get some funding from suppliers.
Yeah.
And, you know, we sent out all these proposals and like it was silence. No one got back to us. Everyone said no.
Yeah.
And so we was just like, oh, whatever. But then as time went on, we're like, no, we're going to keep pushing. And then eventually we started getting yeses. And I was like, oh, I actually believe in what we're offering. And because we kept pushing it, then people started to say yes. And so then we sort of started to see that and having that belief in what we were doing.
When you believe in it, like you would believe in your research like there's no tomorrow. When you believe in it, you know. Like you know that it's facts, it's there, this is going to work and there's no backing down. And when people see that, it's like, okay, well, maybe she is right. Maybe it can work. And they've said no. And then they're going to look back and go, well, hey, we should have listened to Mona, shouldn't we? You know?
See, but I use that as an opportunity.
Yeah.
It's not, okay, you've said no now. That means we're never going to talk again. It's some people need time. Some people need different types of evidence.
Yeah.
Like you don't close the door. You might like shut it halfway.
Yeah.
And then at another day, like university, when I first left school, uni wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Now in life, I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah.
I love university.
Yeah.
Like the teachers are so cool, the lecturers, the doctors and the professors and what you learn and how you apply it. It's, I swear to God, it's like, it's so magical.
Yeah. But I guess for you as well, like, you know, going out and seeing those companies trying to ask for funding, like, have you always been quite a confident person and been able to stand in front of people and say, hey, you know, this is my research, or was this something you just learnt to do?
I have always been behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in every one of my previous companies, I was the person in the background, like getting things done.
Yeah, okay.
Like developing the business plan, hiring, managing the workload, managing the staff, speaking to clients. But I never, like until Juris Techni, I never had to be the person presenting. I never had to be the person on stage. And I shake like a feather.
Yeah.
Like I literally, up until maybe like 2 or 3 months ago, like you could physically see me shaking on stage like a leaf in the wind. And it's a skill. Nobody wakes up one day and is like, oh, yeah, I can confidently speak on stage. Like it's a muscle. Like when you want to train your muscles, you go to the gym.
Yeah.
When you want to learn how to public speak, you need to put your hand up for all the opportunities to get up in front of a group of people and publicly speak.
Yeah, for sure.
Like it's not, by all means. So last week we were at a legal tech fest and I was part of the Startup Clash. And before I got up on stage, shaking. Like my stomach felt like it was going to come out of my ears. And I got up on stage. I tried to get a little bit comfortable on the stage beforehand. Then got up, spoke, sat down, and I sat next to Rachel. And she's like, "Are you okay? Like you're physically shaking." I'm like, I hate public speaking. I hate it so much. I can do conversations like this. Put me in a room with 1,000 people and I can have a conversation. But the second I get up on stage, my stomach's like, bleh.
Yeah.
Bleh.
But it's funny you say that because then when we saw you at the International Women's Day event, you were so confident and it shone through. But it's also your passion because you're passionate about what you were talking about. You can see that you shine through that and it doesn't look like you're nervous at all. Like you looked amazing up there. So
I had to have my, did you see that I had a little book in my hand?
Yeah.
But that just looked like a prop, like as in it didn't look like you were ever looking down at it.
That's what I needed.
Yeah.
I needed that to steady my hands from like how nervous I was.
Yeah.
So it gave me like something to have a center point on.
Yeah.
To like kind of, Mona, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
You're okay. You're okay. You're okay.
And you're not the only one in that boat. Everyone probably was feeling the exact same up there.
They did so well.
Yeah.
They spoke so confidently and so beautifully.
Yeah.
And it's nice being around that energy.
Yeah.
And like when you're around people like that, like it does rub off on you. Who you hang out with matters.
Yeah.
Like if you're hanging out with, people that are always trying, you're going to naturally like learn those habits from one another.
Yeah,
if
for
you're
sure.
around people that are like, I don't want to try.
Yeah.
Or I give up. Like you're eventually going to be stuck in that rut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who you hang out with matters.
100%.
Yeah.
Even from a young age, being in high school, being in primary school, it's like the friends you surround yourself with affect you as a person for everything. And it's like you want to surround yourself with people that are going to make you the best person possible.
But I think you realize that more later on in life as you get older, because I feel like I'm realizing that more, that
definitely
who you need
out
to
of school.
who you need to surround yourself with. But
yeah.
So when you do these pitches for Juris Techne, has it, like, what does a pitch look like?
Okay. So when you're doing a pitching competition, they give you between 30 seconds to 3 minutes to talk about your whole business.
Oh, wow.
Like, I mean, years of research and experience and iteration and market validation, like, all has to happen under 3 minutes.
Wow.
I have maybe 75 different versions of my pitch, depending on who the audience is.
Yep.
A really good skill to, a really good thing to do to improve that skill of getting up on stage and pitching and really articulating quite concisely what your value is practicing it in front of a mirror.
Yeah.
Practice it in front of your kids. My kids know so much about algorithmic law.
Love that.
Like, it's nice.
Yeah.
But then also taking those networking opportunities to keep refining that 30-second elevator pitch.
Yeah.
This is who I am. This is what I do. This is my innovation.
Yeah.
Or this is who I am. This is what I do. Here's the problem I'm solving. Like, when you're problem centric, your solution is always going to change. It always iterates. But if you stay focused on the problem and you're able to articulate what problem you're solving, it makes it easier to communicate and to have those that's what you do, and like not ramble, which I do a lot.
No, but you know what you do, it sounds very smart. Like, you know, it sounds very intellectual, and some people are like, I have no idea what she's talking about. But the way, you know, you can explain it, it's like, oh, actually, yeah, that makes sense. I get what that is.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't think it's something that's like very easily understandable. It seems very high level intellectual kind of software. But and that's what scares some people, I think, is it's like, oh, well, that's scary.
See, but the thing is, AI, artificial intelligence, has been around like since the 70s.
It's crazy.
The only difference right now is the accessibility to generative AI. So AI is like a blanket, like a whole topic, a whole series of things.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just ChatGPT and generative AI.
Yeah.
And having to cut through what people understand what AI is has been difficult.
Yeah.
Because the first thing that people think is, oh, okay, so you're using ChatGPT to do something. And it's like, no, I'm not. Like, I'm actually not at all. Like, we tried that and it's not fit for purpose for litigation assessment.
Yeah.
It's not fit for purpose for medical assessment. Like, where it's fit for purpose is like for creative things.
Yeah.
Help me articulate this.
Yes.
So, like, you do the work first and get it to help. For me, it's with my English.
Yeah.
Because my English sucks. And that's where it's fit for purpose.
Yeah.
But if you're asking it to generate the information, if you're asking it to find the relevant sources, that's where you get this thing called hallucination. That's why it makes things up.
Yeah.
And when you're putting a case together or you're assessing a case, you can't have any level of hallucination.
Yeah.
Whether it comes from a piece of technology or from a person, like, you can't have any level of hallucination.
Yeah.
Like, I can't rely on a technology if I'm investing $1 million into a claim that has the chance of giving me false information.
For sure. Yeah.
And that's when I discovered you can't use Gen AI for litigation assessment. It doesn't matter if you've built a RAG model on top of it. It doesn't matter if you've placed in your safeguards. Like, it's always going to hallucinate, because where it draws the information from is the data, how the data has been structured, where the data has come from.
Yeah.
So if you think about dirty data in, like, what's going to come out?
Yeah.
Dirty data.
Yeah. And in something so serious as law, you obviously can't have that happen because
Not
it's
at
not going to be believed and it's not going to be trusted.
That's right.
That's the most important thing. And I guess, AI is crazy to me. Like you said, all we really know about is ChatGPT and that's it. But there's so much more to it.
It's maths.
Yeah.
So it's like it's data and science and maths, and it's literally like they've put so much of this like false information that you need hundreds of millions of dollars to build your own AI. No, you don't. If you have the right team and you're building it in the right environment, sister, you can build whatever your heart desires.
Yeah.
And speaking of money, you got granted the AI Accelerator grant.
Yeah.
How did you go about getting that? And was that like a big win for you?
It was huge.
Yeah.
So, okay. So I'm a part of UTS Startups.
Yeah.
And it's this like community at UTS where you go and like pretty much have a place to build your business. You get access to mentors, you get access to like other founders. You get a free office in the city, and I love free 99.
Yes.
But there's also like opportunities within the university.
Yeah.
So when the university announced that they're holding a UTS AI Accelerator grant, I'm like,
I mean,
Pick me.
pick me, Shrek, pick me. So when I got up there, and it was just so easy to talk to them.
Yeah.
Because they understood the science. They understood the reasons why I'm innovating the way I am and why I'm not building an LLM wrapper, which is like your large language models, which is your ChatGPTs.
Yeah.
And why I'm developing my own technology to create ethical and explainable AI, which really aligns to their values as well, because they know how detrimental bad tech can be for things that need critical. It's not bad tech. Sorry, I take that back. It's great technology, but you have to think about where it's fit for purpose.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not ethical. It's not explainable. They infringe on so many people's IP and data, and there's no transparency into their algorithms. We already know they perpetuate algorithmic bias.
Yeah.
So if you go into ChatGPT and say, generate an image of a successful data scientist, it's going to give you an image of, a pretty spunky white guy.
Yeah.
Like either in a lab coat or a business suit, sitting in a fancy office. Now, we know a data scientist can actually look in many different ways.
Yeah.
But whatever you put in there, because it's been trained on bias data.
Yeah.
Like it's going to have bias output because it's been trained on discriminatory data.
Yeah.
It's going to have elements of discrimination through it.
Yeah. It's so interesting. The things you can put into ChatGPT and then for it to spit out is like, wow, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a great tool. Like it's been trained on trillions of parameters and data sets, but like just don't use it for law and don't use it for medicine. Like, don't use it in places that require critical thinking skills.
It's got a place. It's got a place.
Yeah.
And it's when it's used correctly, it's amazing.
Yeah, and like you're saying, it starts hallucinating. We were trying to make one of those pictures, the action figures the other day.
Yeah.
And it would spit out one that was like said like the Alliance guys or something.
Yeah, it kept saying the name
It kept saying
wrong.
different words, and then we'd say like add boots to it, and then it would put the boots next to the model, but then not put it on the model. And I was like, gosh, how clear do we have to be to this thing? But then I have to realize like we're not talking to a human being. It's a.
But I wasn't when I was doing it. I wasn't even adding a photo of one of our texts or anything, and it kept spitting out like a very similar image of what they thought a tech would look like.
Yeah.
It was quite interesting.
A big guy, you
Like,
know.
All looked the same, so it was quite interesting actually that process.
Now let's talk about your charity, One Marinite. Yeah. It's so interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd never heard about it. And then when Rachel sent a bio for you, we started looking it up and we were like, another amazing thing that Mona does.
Yeah.
Now, what is One Marinite and how did you come about finding that?
Okay. So back when I was running my digital agency, I saw that within my community, so I'm Maronite Lebanese.
Yep.
There wasn't really anywhere that I can go and support like businesses or people in my community.
Yeah.
So I started off it was just like an Instagram page saying, I'm going to promote like all the businesses for free.
Yeah.
Like just share it with me and I'll repaste it like onto our socials. And I built a directory of like Maronite owned businesses.
Yeah.
And that led me to meet so many people. Now, right before the Beirut blast, there was a period where people were no longer getting access to medicine. And because of all the people I was meeting through One Maronite, I started hearing more and more that people didn't have medication anymore in Lebanon. So I'd call and speak to, first I started with my relatives, like, hey, do you guys need any help? I've heard from other people that there's no access to medicine. And then they'd start talking because there's this level of, I don't know, shame or whatever it is where they don't want to ask for help.
Yeah.
Like you have to offer the help first for them to open up.
Yeah.
And then once I started realizing how many people, not just in my village, but around all of Lebanon don't have access to medicine, then I was like, all right, I need to pivot and change One Maronite into a charity.
Yeah.
So I changed it into a charity. We're registered on the ACNC. I got my family doctor involved.
I love it.
From his name's Dr. Peter Nuckley from Concord Medical Centre. The bloke's the goat. And my brother as well, my brother Johnny. And I said, guys, we're starting a charity. And they're like, yep, we're in. What do we need to do? Like, all right, sweet. So I'd put all the documents together, put the compliance pack together, made sure that, you know, we were compliant to all the requirements to set up a charity, did everything. And what we do is we raise money over here, buy the medicine from Australia. What they'll do is they'll send us a script from their GP. We'll then validate that script, speak to the GP, make sure that, you know, we're getting the right script and the right information. Buy it as a private script in Australia, so not under the PBS because that's only reserved for Australian citizens and permanent residents. And then send that medication like through the mail, like to get to Lebanon.
Yeah.
Get it through customs and into the hands of the individual who needs it.
Wow.
That took me about a year.
That's crazy.
To work out that process, get the TGA to approve it in writing.
Yeah.
And as soon as they approved it in writing, I created a document and shared that everywhere.
Yeah.
To every charity that I knew of that was helping with medical aid.
Yeah.
Because I can't do it all.
Yeah.
I could do what I can do. But if we all contribute like one bit or one drop, look at the ocean.
Yeah.
The ocean is filled with like trillions of drops.
Yeah.
But if we each put one drop in, we're creating a whole tidal wave of hope and change and like support.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take a lot to do. So a lot of hands make for light work.
Yeah.
So that's what we started. It evolved from me wanting to give back to my community because you can't just take and take. God blesses us, but we need to share that blessing with everybody else and help where we can.
Yeah.
To then realizing, you know what, where we're going to have a really strong impact is getting medicine into the people's hands.
Yeah.
Because the pharmacies didn't have them. Government wasn't paying the pharmaceutical companies, which means the pharmacies couldn't draw agreements directly with the pharmaceutical companies, which means people didn't. They were literally rationing Panadol tablets.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Like, what is that?
Crazy.
Things that we take for granted.
Literally.
We were talking about before we got on the
Yeah.
podcast, but things we take for granted is just, I can just pop down and get Panadol anytime.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Kid's
So-
got a fever, needs antibiotics.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
literally
We
go
just
to the
hop on down
GP.
to the chemist and that's it.
Bob's your uncle.
Yeah.
Like, whereas over there, like, people need as well, like, their heart medication, cholesterol,
Yeah.
diabetes.
Yeah.
Like, there is so many life-needed medications that we could help individuals with, and we send them 3 months at a time. So every 3 months, we keep sending that individual the medication that they need. Otherwise, like, being sick is not a good feeling, and it doesn't just affect you. So everyone. Okay, we're not helping millions of people, but by helping that one person has a flow-on effect around in their family, like they're a husband or a wife or a partner or a child or a brother or a sister, whatever it is. It affects those people around them that are taking care of them.
Yeah.
When you enable that person with the medication that they need, it alleviates the pressure on their support network.
Yeah.
So it's having such a flow-on effect, even by helping, the hundreds of people that we've helped through the charity.
How do you raise money for the charity?
So
what ways have you been doing it?
Subscription-based.
Yep. Okay.
Because that is the tech in me.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I created a website.
Yep.
Again, with the website. And what I did is you subscribe with $5 or $10 a month.
Yep.
Because we're doing it tough here too.
Yeah.
You can't just expect people to give hundreds or thousands of dollars. Like, we work really hard.
Yeah.
But I know you can put $5 or $10 a month because, like, our coffee's like $5, $6.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally like
Skip
a
that
cup of coffee. No, buy the coffee too. But, like, buy 2 coffees and put the price for that other second coffee towards it. And you get it back at the end of the day in your tax return.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
like, it's a win-win.
It's a way to give back.
Yeah.
I think, and that's important, and I love that.
And I think you feel good when you do think, you know you're making a difference. And it, like you said, it may only be a small amount, but you know that that's going to something that's helping other people. So it's, something small out of your coffee a day.
A packet of Panadol over here, the 100 pack is $2.50.
Yeah.
Like, that's like at an expensive retail price.
It's crazy.
Like, how many people are you helping and families with $5?
That one packet of Panadol.
Yeah, you're actually creating such a huge impact with $5.
Yeah. Now, you're juggling so many roles. Like, you're, juggling your work in One Marinite, you're juggling Juris Techni, being a mum. How do you find juggling those multiple roles? And do you, what's your advice to people when they do have a lot of things they have their, their toes in, and how they can juggle that?
Well, we don't do anything full-time.
Yeah.
Like, I know people are like, oh, no, that's your full-time job. Like, no, I'm doing this for several hours in the day, but there's 24 hours in the day.
Yeah.
Like, when I wake up in the morning, I'm a mum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I go to work for Juris Techni, I'm Mona Chiha from Juris Techni.
Yeah.
If I have a phone call during the day, or if I have a meeting for One Marinite, what is it, half an hour out of my day? Like, technology. Because I've automated so many of the processes, it's enabled me to focus on the strategic implementation of what I need to do.
Oh, yeah, that's important.
And that's what gives me the power to go out and study.
Yeah.
Like, my MBA was online.
Yeah.
Like, that is so awesome, because it means I could be home with my kids and be studying and use the weekends to catch up on the content that you read for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're not ever doing anything all the time.
Yeah.
And really, that's how you do it. Like, One Marinite takes maybe half an hour to an hour of my time every week.
Yeah.
Juris Techni is like my soul, and I'm just, I think I'm just so hyper fixated and just crazy about creating a new way to practice law that everything else complements it.
Yeah.
So I've got Juris Techni over here. Over here is my research that's related to Juris Techni.
Yeah.
Over here is my JD that's related to Juris Techni. Over here is my One Marinite work that fills my cup to keep me going in Juris Techni, knowing that God is blessing me over here. This is my give back. My give back is One Marinite.
Yeah.
Like, what else? Like, the kids. Like, it's you're not 24/7 with them anymore.
Yeah.
Like they're at school.
Yeah.
Or they're at the co-curriculars. Like you're not a mum 24/7 either.
Yeah.
So there is so many things that you can do if you want to do them.
Yeah.
If you don't want to do them, different story.
Yeah, for sure.
But like I really love all the things that I'm doing, and
Yeah.
each one of them fills my cup in a different way that keeps me this passionate and obsessed with all the things that I'm doing. I love it. Some
Yeah.
people are just like, oh no, it's too much, or who looks after your children?
Yeah. Yeah.
But you see that passion come out in you.
Yeah.
Just you talking then. Like you're
And-
passionate about all those different things, and
Yeah.
you've brought them all together to complement each other, because that works for you, works for your family, works
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
you
And
as a mother.
even your kids seeing you,
Yeah.
know, be so passionate about your work and about everything you do,
have your drink.
that's going to make them passionate too.
It really is. Like, it's definitely showing them you can do whatever you want to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
You can be whoever you want to be. You want to be an astronaut? Be an astronaut.
Yeah.
You want to be my son did this speech at school where he said he wants to be an algorithmic lawyer like Mum.
Oh, that's
And I'm
so
just like,
cute.
bless your cotton socks.
And everyone else in the school's probably going, wow, that's
What's
crazy.
he on about?
But I love how you spoke earlier about support, saying your husband, like you said, I want to go to uni. He's like, yeah, do whatever you want. Like, that's so
Yeah.
important to have the people in your life that are just like, do what you want to do and support you in what you want to do and not hold you back. And I think that's so important, to find those people around you.
Yes. Yeah.
Because you wouldn't be where you are today without that support around you.
No,
Yeah, for
not at
sure.
all.
So,
Like, not at
Yeah.
all. Like, how would I be able
Yeah.
to go to uni if my husband wasn't such a great dad
yeah.
and is like, all right, you go to uni, I got the kids. And then having my mum there as well be like, all right, you go to uni, I've got dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like my brother saying, hey, you go and work in your business if you need someone to pick up the kids on this particular day.
Yeah. And it just shows how much they believe
Yeah.
in you and what
Yeah.
you're doing as well. And that I think that would probably motivate you even more, because you know your family are backing you and they're behind you and they believe in everything you're doing.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Because again, never growing up until I started my MBA, I never would have believed. If you told me this 5 years ago, I would have never believed that I could be doing what I'm doing and just be getting such fulfillment,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like from the research, from all these new innovations and inventions, and doing something that people said that was impossible. Like it's really rewarding.
yeah.
And I love that TikTok trend, and I'm going to ask you it, where you say, you know, if you could speak to your younger self in high school or whichever year you're in, what advice would you give yourself back then?
None.
Do
wouldn't-
exactly what you did. And
I
look at
wouldn't
where you've
change a
turned out.
thing.
Yeah, okay.
I love where I am right now and who I've become.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be who I am right now had I not gone through those trials and tribulations.
Yeah.
Like I would be a completely different person.
person. Yeah.
And I like who I am today.
Yeah.
When you ask God to make you patient, God puts you in situations to develop that skill of being patient.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would be the person I am today if I went back in time and said, hey, Mona, do this,
Yeah.
and be this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I would have had the success that I have now if I didn't. Like, I wish everyone to go through trials and tribulations.
Yeah.
Because it shows you different aspects of yourself
Yeah.
that you would have never known.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't. I
And that's
actually
how you
wouldn't.
learn.
But
That's
it's
how
that-
you learn.
It's that whole thing of looking into the future. You know, people are like,
Yeah.
if I could see the future of what I become, but the whole Back to the Future movie, that would actually change your whole journey.
Yeah,
Because
for
you
sure.
would change what you do because you know what's coming, but then you wouldn't actually be the person you are when it happens. So it's like
That's right.
that journey is where you need to go.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Now we have some quick rapid fire questions.
yes, we do.
Okay.
All right.
I've got
Take-
my
take a sip.
amazing gin and tonic over here.
Okay. All right. First question is a book that changed your life. Star Trek.
Save Our Sleep by Tizzy Hall.
Oh, was it good?
Let me tell you, that book enabled me to have 4 children in 4 years.
I always read about that book, but I never actually read it.
Oh, no, it's great.
Okay,
We're still
next
on
child.
the Tizzy Hall routine.
Oh, wow.
Like my children are 10, 8, 7 and 6. And we still follow, God bless her, Tizzy Hall, if you ever see this, I love you.
We'll tag her in this.
Please, like that book, I don't think I would have been able to have 4 kids under 4 without having read her book.
All right, my next child, I'll be reading
Yeah,
that
you'll
book.
be reading
Highly recommend it.
All right, what's a quote you live by?
Okay. I've said it a couple of times during our talk is you can't be what you can't see and you don't know what you don't know. I think that curiosity has led me into so many opportunities and looking at things from like an empathetic and curious way gives you so many different perspectives to meet new people.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, and it also helps you like to not be judgy as well.
Yeah.
Like people, there is no cookie cutter approach to
life.
Yeah.
Yep. Love that.
Love it.
Are you coffee or tea person?
Coffee. If I was to give blood, it would be black.
Yeah, love that. How many coffees do you have a day?
4?
Yeah, love it.
Oh my gosh. I think I'm dying on one.
Yeah, I love that coffee addiction. All right, what's your go-to confidence boost before a big pitch?
It's going to sound like I have such an alcoholic problem and I don't. But I have a gin and tonic before I get up on stage.
Yeah.
And that advice was given to me by this amazing woman. Her name is Eliana Doha. She came to help me declutter my home.
Oh, I need someone to do that.
Oh my God, I need to give you her details.
Yeah, I need someone to do that.
She is this magical fairy woman who comes out of nowhere and just turns your chaotic home into like this place of clarity and serenity.
Oh, I need that.
And I got to show you the pictures of before and after of my cupboards.
My pantry, I definitely need her in there.
Oh, she's phenomenal. She's absolutely phenomenal. I got to share her details.
Yeah, definitely.
But she said to me, she's like, why didn't you just have like a shot or something before you go up? And I'm like, why was I drinking coffee before I got up on stage? Like, you're right. So I would have like just one gin and tonic and be like, okay.
Nice.
It takes the edge off.
Yeah.
I like that. That's good.
All right. What's one innovation you dream of creating next, and what's next for Mona and Juris Technique?
Well, the innovation that I'm working on, which is the new practice of law called algorithmic law, is something that we're launching next month.
Ooh, how
I know,
exciting.
we're doing a soft launch. So
Yeah.
we're soft launching with the people and the companies that are participating in our pilot and case study.
Yeah.
And I think that is probably the most exciting thing I've ever worked on in my life.
Love that.
Like we're literally creating and showing that the technology exists and showing that as an individual that you can be an algorithmic lawyer.
Yeah.
Like it's never been done before. And it's so exciting.
Yeah.
Like how you keep learning and iterating and discovering and just, sorry, I
love
ramble.
it.
I spiral into this rabbit hole of all the research and just the new, it's old, but it's new.
Yeah.
Like the way that you can use unstructured data and then structure it and then use some math to pull out some really cool insights.
Yeah.
To have like to create those really strategic data-driven decisions.
Yeah.
But it's the possibilities that it's going to bring. Like that's pretty amazing.
So much. Like this is only the beginning. Like where it could go is into government policy. It can go into the courts.
Yeah.
It can go to legal aid. It can go into so many different areas that are so important for our day-to-day lives. And it's just like really exciting.
Exciting.
That's exciting.
Exciting
I love
stuff.
that. Now, last thing, what's one message to young women dreaming big that you would like to let them know.
Okay, so I'm going to look into the camera for this one.
Yeah. Into that one.
That one?
Yeah.
Right. You don't need permission to innovate. You don't need anybody's permission to go out and pursue your dreams and your passion and your education. Knowledge is power. When you are empowered with the knowledge base to make data-driven strategic decisions, it opens up the whole world for you. Don't wait. Don't be like me and wait until you were late 30-something, like, to go out and pursue those dreams. Like, if you're living in Australia, like, there are so many ways to access building your own business, or going out and getting some free education, or joining, your local business chambers. Like, there's so many ways that you can do what you want to do, and just go out and do it because you can. And if you ever feel like, oh, no, I can't, or I'm not worthy, or I'm not this, I want you to find me on LinkedIn, and I want you to say, Mona, do you have 7 minutes? And I will talk to you, and I will, whatever resources that I can share with you, I will share, because I really want to share all the knowledge and the resources and the tools that I've been able to leverage to get to where I am, and you can have access to that too.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I think young women these days, they need that mentor. They need someone to look up to see that they can do that. And I think, like, we get inspired every time we do an episode with a guest, and that's us as adults. If we had this when we were younger, it's like, God knows where we would be or what we'd be doing. So, yeah, that message is very powerful.
Because even if you were doing just like a 1/10 of what you're doing now, it's still amazing, and you're still doing so many things. So, yeah, very inspirational for people out there.
Yeah.
Young women listening. So, that's good.
Thank you so much for coming on, Mona, and sharing everything. Honestly, it's been an incredible episode. I reckon we could sit here probably for another few hours and talk.
Yeah. I'm actually really excited to see where Juris-Techne goes and what that leads to. I think it's, in the way the world's going with AI, and it's very exciting to see where that goes with you and how you shine with that.
And like we said, it's always evolving and always changing, and there's so many places that you can take this. So, very excited to see, and we hope the very best for you.
And see what else you invent as well.
Yeah, we'll see the next invention. There'll be another company made by Mona Chiha.
There is one thing that, like, I've got to itch for, but that will happen after Juris-Techne.
Rachel's like, oh no. All right, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.